Hiya folks, Sandro here with more cartoon news and shenanigans. And if you'd like more cartoon news and shenanigans, I'd ask you to please subscribe to my channel. In fact, do it right now so you don't forget about it later. And I thank you very much for that, guys. So today, I recently watched all of the episodes of the Ghost and Molly McGee, Disney's newest cartoon. I don't know if this is going to be, a big one going forward, but I will tell you right off the bat. Okay, first of all, spoilers. I'm going to be talking about some of the things that happen in this show. Going to give you my thoughts. So if you guys don't want spoilers, go ahead and watch the show for yourself, and then maybe come back here and we can discuss in the comment section down below. Anyways, now I'm getting into it, okay? Final warning, I'm getting into it here. So the Ghost and Molly McGee, the Ghost and Molly McGee, previously known as the Curse of Molly McGee. That I actually like that title better, honestly. I don't know why. Something about the Curse of Molly McGee. It sounds more spooky. And then, they kind of go from like that title to the Ghost and Molly McGee. And here's all these rainbows. And it doesn't look, it doesn't give you that spooky kind of, vibe. It's a show about a ghost and you don't really get that kind of vibe there, but okay, whatever. So they decided to name change it to the Ghost and Molly McGee. And here are my thoughts on the show, okay? Here are my thoughts. So there's a lot of things to talk about here. I think the first one that I've talked about before on my live stream, if you guys watched it, is the plot of the show. So I right now, overall, I'm going to give the Ghost and Molly McGee a 6 out of 10. That could go up in the future. I'm going to stick with this show. I like this show. This is a show where I actually like it enough that I'm going to keep watching right now. I haven't dropped the show, which is always a good sign, because a lot of times I watch the first like 1 or 2 episodes of a show and I'm like, this isn't my cup of tea, and I'm out. But the Ghost and Molly McGee, on the other hand, I think it's good enough where I'm intrigued. I want to see where it goes, so I'm going to keep watching. So what's going on with the plot of this show? It's a very slow plot. Very, very slow plot. So the plot goes a little something like this. There's this ghost here named Scratch. That's him right there, the blue fellow. And there's this ghost council. We aren't given like any information on what the hell this council does, or like, I don't know. All they seem to do is they want to keep track of the misery. So ghosts have to go out and scare people. And for some reason, they have to keep a balance between each town in the world. Or that's what it appeared to be. It's like apparently different ghosts have different districts. So I guess Scratch's district is the one where Molly lives. And they have to make sure like people are scared and miserable. And there's like a thermometer that shows if they're like scared or if they're having a good time or not. And for some reason, the ghosts have to, keep the fear going. It's nothing is explained here. Like literally nothing. Like that's why I feel like this show just kind of was like, let's think up a story that we can work with here and we'll figure out the details later. And so right now, episode 1, it's just like they just kind of throw you into a gimmicky story that doesn't really go anywhere. We get introduced to Molly, her family, and so Scratch, Scratch has done a good job. They don't, the other ghosts don't like him, except for like one other ghost that's his friend. I honestly forgot his name. Very forgettable character. I forgot his name. Somebody in the comments, let me know what was Scratch's friend's name. He's kind of a dopey looking character. I forgot it, but it doesn't really matter. He doesn't really play too much of a role in this show. But anyway, so Scratch is very disliked by all of the other ghosts and the council. The council really doesn't like him. So Scratch ends up being sent to his own little mansion. Things are good. Right now, people are scared in his district. People are very scared. Why is it that there's only one ghost per district? I don't understand. We also see another ghost who was like failing or something, and they get sent to like some kind of like weird ghost realm because they didn't accomplish their goals. But like, it's very weird. It's just very weird how the show works. And I'm going to talk about that because it gets wacky. So the story, we don't really get much of the story. Later in the show, Scratch and Molly become friends. And we see that thermometer that's, it says like, how miserable are the people? Are they miserable or are they not? We actually see the thermometer go up a little bit as Scratch and Molly become friends. And Scratch kind of like neglects his duties to like scare people, I guess. He still does it though. There's episodes where there's like a baseball game episode. Scratch scares people and it doesn't seem to... It actually doesn't seem to make the thermometer move at all, which is inconsistent with the story, I guess. But yeah, also there's this like Grim Reaper character that's holding the thermometer, or he's next to the thermometer, I should say. And I guess he's like the final, but like he's like the higher up, like the manager of all the Ghost Council and whatever. But this show is just wacky. The rules are just weird. So in the show, we see some people die, actually, funny enough, during a song where a bunch of old people are helping to build like a stage. An old man just kind of dies and Scratch actually grabs his ghost and puts it back in his body. In another episode that takes place in a camping sort of scenario, we actually do see a bird die. A bird just kind of dies. And we see that birds also so anything that dies seems to immediately become a ghost is what they've been giving us as a plot thread here. So I don't know if they're going to be keeping that up going forward or not, truth be told. But I'm very interested. There's some like ambiguity. Who was Scratch before he died? That's, how many years ago did Scratch die? We don't know. We're only 10 episodes in. I'm sure later on, or maybe this is going to be one of those shows like Samurai Jack, where we never learn Samurai Jack's true name, right? Because he's only called Samurai Jack because some like weird like monsters started calling him. They're like, "Yo, what up, Jack? Yo, there's Jack." So some monsters called him like Jack, and then I guess it just started to catch on. So yeah, Samurai Jack's true name never revealed in the show. So this might be one of those shows where Scratch's true human form is never actually revealed. But yeah, so there we go. And it's interesting too, because we see with some of the other people that die in this show that their ghosts, are kind of relative to their body size. Or yeah, so like I guess Scratch was like a very short person. That seems to be the gimmick there. You can see there's his feet. We see this other character who died, and she seemed to be a taller woman, and she actually seemed to contain her height into the afterlife. So it seems that Scratch, if he's ever revealed to be human, maybe he was like a midget or something, like very a short person. I don't know. That's what it might seem to be there. But anyways, let's keep going here. What are some of the things I didn't like? I think the music. I got to talk about the music. I did talk about this on my live stream. Basically, Molly McGee is another show like Phineas and Ferb, where they like to have a musical number like every episode. Sometimes they have two, actually. And actually, I think there was one episode where they even did three. But yeah, they like to try and do these quick little musical numbers. I think that they're wasting a lot of money on the music. All of the songs are just bad. Like they're very forgettable. I could not tell you one song. But like Phineas and Ferb, the songs grow on you. You know what I mean? Like there were all these really badass episodes, like the Love Handle one. And they even do. I remember there was an episode. They actually had so many songs that they do like a Phineas and Ferb kind of episode where Dr. Doofenshmirtz and I think it's Major Monogram go over the top 100. Was it 100 or top 50 songs in Phineas and Ferb? So, they've done, Phineas and Ferb do a lot of cool things with their music. There's so many good songs, guys. So many classics from Phineas and Ferb. I always love the Mix and Mingle machine. I don't know if it's like mix, mingle. And also, we're watching and we're waiting. There's just so many good ones, okay? It's literally so many good ones, so many classics. Molly McGee, how many classics are there? We're 10 episodes in. We've got a lot of songs. I think there's been like 13 or 14 songs between all the episodes, maybe even more, maybe 15. I don't even know. A lot of songs in these episodes, and they're just not memorable and they're not good. So I hope they aren't wasting too much money on the budget for the music, because that sucks. It sucks when you're wasting money on, not great sound quality here. So yeah, this show doesn't live up to Phineas and Ferb in the sound department, much like, and the only reason I'm comparing it to Phineas and Ferb is because this show has a lot of music. It has a lot of musical numbers. And this is another one of those shows where they break the fourth wall, like Phineas and Ferb. A lot of times they're singing about what's going on in the scene. And for example, they'll be singing about a baseball game, or what's it called? Molly's mother, she becomes like a gig pig, and she's doing all these weird jobs on her iPhone, or whatever. And they just break the fourth wall. And at one point in a song, they talk about how they're painting a toxic molded wall. And the mom turns around to the singer and she's like, what was that about, toxic mold? Are we going to be fine? And then they sing in the song. They're like, oh, you'll be fine. So I thought that was funny that they broke the fourth wall a couple times with some of the songs. But yeah, the song quality, the songs in the show just aren't delivering. So I'll leave it at that. So the story isn't really delivering. The songs all forgettable, and but I do like the voice actors. I really like Scratch's voice actor. I don't know his name. Let's actually look him up. It's something Dana, right? Molly McGee, Scratch voice. Voice. Let's see. What was his name? Who voiced this? Dana Snyder. Yeah, his voice is so good. I think he's the best voice actor on the entire show, hands down. As for Molly, interestingly enough, I feel like Molly sometimes sounds like Star Butterfly. Am I the only one who noticed that? There's certain times when she says she has certain mannerisms, and some of the way that she talks sometimes, she just sounds like Star Butterfly from Star versus the Forces of Evil, which is another Disney show. So, some of the people that probably worked on that show might be working here. And, but yeah, the voice, even though I believe Star has a different voice actor from Molly, they just sound very similar sometimes to me. You guys let me know in their mannerisms, in the way that they voice the character. I feel that they're very similar sometimes. So I do want to hear your opinions on that in the comment section down below. What else is there to talk about? So the story, not the best. Music is not great. The parents, that's a great thing to talk about. Yeah, this is one of those shows where I really feel like they didn't really need the parents. The best characters on this show are hands down by a mile and a half, Molly and Scratch. Now, later on, they try and give Molly some kind of entourage of side characters. They kind of play it up like Molly didn't have any friends because she just started high school, which is and she just moved to a new town, so it makes sense that she doesn't have any friends. But the characters, some of the her best friend that they kind of really forced, it kind of felt a little forced to me. Libby is the best friend, and I do like this character. This is one of the only other good characters. I think Libby sucks. That's my opinion. Okay, we've only had 3 or 4 episodes with her, but I do not like Libby. I do, on the other hand, like Andrea or Andra or whatever. I can't remember. Okay, she has something about her that she hates people when they mispronounce her name. Andrea, right? Andrea? Andrea or Andrea? See, look, she'd get very cross with me if she were real, but let's just call her Andrea. So Mrs. Andrea here, she's kind of the bully kind of character here. She reminds me of Monique from Kim Possible. She has that kind of sassy girl. She's going to be an antagonist to Molly. She's the cool, popular. She's a girl. And she's not a cheerleader, though. Maybe they will. That'd be weird. If they made her into a cheerleader, then the similarities between Bonnie from Kim Possible and Andrea would be very, very similar. But yeah, so her big gimmick here is that she's rich. And she's also like an iPhone or a TikTok star or something like that, YouTuber. She's one of those. She's like an influencer type of deal here. It's an archetype that we've seen before in a lot of shows. The first one that jumped to my mind was We Bare Bears. They had what was the koala's name? Oh my God. Let's find that out. We Bare Bears koala. What was that dang koala's name? Nom Nom. Yeah, so Nom Nom feels very similar to what they're delivering here with Andrea in character-wise. But in my opinion, top three characters right now, Scratch is number 1, Molly is number 2, and Andrea is number 3. That's my opinion. As for the parents, getting back to the parents, what are my thoughts on the parents? Weirdly enough, she also has a brother, and I don't know why. The brother really reminds me of American Dragon Jake Long. Doesn't he look like a kind of a younger version of Jake Long? Very interesting there. The parents. So the parents don't really do much of anything in this show. I think Disney messed up the dynamic of what's been going on in the Ghost and Molly McGee. So normally when you have parents in a cartoon, they usually try and serve a purpose. And I guess you could say this is a family show, and that's why the parents are there. But in other shows, let's look at Danny Phantom and Fairly Oddparents, for example. Danny Phantom's parents are ghost hunter types of characters, while Danny is a ghost. So you have this juxtaposition here where Danny, he wants to keep his secret because he doesn't want his parents to, know about his powers or capture him or experiment on him or whatever. Meanwhile, it's like they serve a purpose where Danny gets to keep his secret. It's like a tension. It's kind of an easy way to create tension. It's like, oh no, my parents are going to find out that I'm a ghost. I have to do something to stop them from finding out I'm a ghost, So there's some tension with the parents. They serve a purpose to create tension and to drive the plot forward. Same thing with Fairly Oddparents, right? Timmy isn't allowed to tell his parents about his Fairly Godparents, right? So it's, again, secret. It's a secret. It drives tension. Timmy's parents come home and they're like, oh, Timmy. And Timmy's like, quick, hide, Cosmo. You get this like tension. The characters, the mom and dad in Fairly Oddparents drive the plot forward. And in this show, the parents immediately find out about Scratch. And, I almost forgot to say, the whole reason this show is called The Curse and Molly McGee, it used to be called The Curse of Molly McGee. What is the curse? So the curse here is that Scratch doesn't like the fact that this family moved into the house. So Molly Molly decides to make her room the attic where Scratch was living in. And Scratch gets kind of pissed off that Molly is such a happy-go-lucky person. So he curses Molly, and he basically says, wherever you go, I'll be there to, scare you or whatever until you leave this house. So that's the curse. Basically, until Molly and her family leave the house, Scratch is bound to her soul. And every time Molly says, hey, Scratch, no matter where he is, unless he's in the ghost realm, I think they said something like along the lines of if Scratch is in the other ghost realm, Molly can't call her. Molly can't call Scratch, I should say, not her. Scratch is probably a boy. But so that's the only gimmick there. So Molly actually has the power to call Scratch from anywhere in the world, and he gets like dragged to her, like, because it's a curse, Maybe later on they'll do the opposite, where like maybe it'll be discovered that if Scratch yells like, hey, Molly will get dragged across the world. That would be wacky as hell. But yeah, so Scratch has all kind of ghostly powers. We see in a baseball game, he has like psychic powers and he can manipulate the ball and he can transform. He can, I guess, stop time, or no, he doesn't really stop time, but he's able to. Actually, is he able to stop time? I think he might be able to stop time, just for a little bit though. Yeah, I think he goes into this giant evil form, and it looks like time is like slowing down or something. I don't know. I actually don't think he has the power to stop time exactly. Maybe he could just freeze people in place or scare them that they can't move. Petrification. That's what I'm looking at. Petrification. So yeah, that's basically what goes on with Scratch. But back to the parents. The parents don't really do anything in this show. They're just kind of run of the mill parents. I feel like they're at least they could have got rid of the brother, maybe. The brother is just kind of there. He doesn't really do anything. He doesn't really add anything. Just like American Dragon Jake Long, he has a sister, and it's been so long since I've seen this show. I couldn't pause. Okay, let's find it out. Jake Long's sister. The sister also can turn into a dragon. What was her name? Haley. Yeah, so Haley can turn into a dragon also. And she's used very rarely in the show. She's just more of a very obnoxious character, But yeah, this character here, the new brother, I don't even feel like looking up his name here. I haven't look. I only just recently watched the show, and I didn't learn all the characters' names. The only important ones really are Scratch, Molly, and Andrea, however you want to say that. But this little boy here, who reminds me so much of Jake Long. It must be the haircut. But yeah, that fellow right there, he seems pretty good. He seems pretty good. He seems pretty useless. He doesn't really do anything, and he could have just not been there. The parents also, like Charlie Brown, the parents could have been there in the background. In Charlie Brown, the parents don't really get involved. They focus on the children while the parents are just kind of like, wah, 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 wah. And in this show, they try and include the parents, but they're just not that great. I feel like Molly is the star of the show here. Molly and Scratch. Any of the episodes that focus on them are much better than the ones that focus on the parents. There was this one episode where their Nin, which is the grandma version of, are they Vietnamese or something, or Thai, or I don't know. But yeah, half their family is white, half the other family, or the father's white, the mother is Thai or Vietnamese. I don't know. I don't know what she is, but that episode just was kind of iffy. The episodes that focus on the parents are just the episodes that focus on Molly in school with Scratch, I found those to be the best episodes, honestly. And yeah, so overall, the characters are okay. What about the comedy? I didn't laugh that much. There was definitely a couple laughs to be had, but I didn't feel I laughed that much compared to other shows. I think Amphibia also, Amphibia, it's not the funniest show, but it has a lot better. I feel like I enjoy the characters on that show a lot more than this show, for example. And the characters in Amphibia, I find them to be just more exciting. You want to see what happens to them next. Molly McGee's kind of side characters. You're just I don't really care about these people. And Amphibia, it's not the funniest show, Amphibia, but the story of Amphibia really saves that show, in my opinion. But meanwhile, here in the Ghost and Molly McGee, the comedy's a little lacking. The story is very lacking. I'm interested to see where it goes, but I need to see more. Until then, I'm just giving it a 6 out of 10. And the songs, like I talked about, the songs are just overkill. They don't need to be there. They're kind of just wasting money and time to make the episodes kind of run longer. But yeah. So that's my thoughts. I think the show is just okay. Just an okay show. I mean, 6 out of 10 is above average, I guess. It's not a 5 out of 5 mediocre, absolute forgettable cartoon. I think it's a memorable one. I don't, this isn't the type of show like Rick and Morty where you immediately see like quotable lines, or SpongeBob. I remember as a kid, the newest episode of SpongeBob would be out and people would like, immediately go to school and start saying some of the things. It's like there was that one episode where SpongeBob's like stepping on the beach, toot 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 toot. You would hear the kids in school like doing all kinds of crazy SpongeBob quotes. But like this show doesn't seem to be like a real banger. I don't see anybody talking about it. It's not one of those like quotable shows. You know what I mean? It's not like Rick and Morty where it has immediate like, son of a bitch, I'm in, where it's like Morty, that episode airs and then that's already a meme. You know what I mean? But, yeah, so this one, I got to keep watching it. I want to see more. But right now, the plot really needs to pick up for me to continue watching this past season 1. I feel like if the plot doesn't pick up, this is just kind of a show that's not really going anywhere anytime fast. So, it's okay. It's just an okay show, and I think I talked about it enough. Is there anything else I wanted to say? The songs, the music, the visual, the animation is great. It's not the best animation. It's better than a lot of things I've seen coming out of Adult Swim, let me tell you. Holy shit. But, yeah, anyway, so 6 out of 10. Do you guys agree with that? Do you disagree? Is it a 7 out of 10? Do you guys find the songs were not memorable? You can't sit here and tell me those songs were memorable. I think the best episode of this show so far was maybe like the Gig Pig episode, or the episode where Molly goes to school and Andre, or that was the first episode actually, wasn't it? Yeah. I think it was second episode. I think, yeah, episode 2, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. Or was that episode 1? Oh, right. There's 2 episodes per episode. Oh, okay, yeah. The episode 1 and 2 are technically part of the same episode because they're 11 minutes each. So that was probably the best episode so far. I also like the camping episode. That was a decent one. And that's just about it. Basically, most of the episodes that don't feature Molly's parents too much, except for the Gig Pig episode with Molly's mom where they had to pay off their debt. And that episode had a stupid ending, though. There was like a vault. There was a vault in Molly's house, and I was like, oh my God, is there going to be some like magical thing in the vault? Like, is this a magical house? And it just ended up being nothing. So, absolute stupid plots. Yeah, but I want to hear your guys' thoughts. Do you agree with my 6 out of 10? Are you excited for more episodes of this? Do you think this will get canceled soon? What are your thoughts? Where is this show going? Where's the story going? I literally have no idea where the story's going. Literally, like, Abe Lincoln is in this show randomly, like Abe Lincoln's ghost. It's just like, it's wild, it's wacky. There's all kinds of plots they can do with famous celebrities who have died, I guess, if they really wanted to. Oh my God, this is going to be the next Scooby-Doo and Guess Who, where they just have celebrities come on and or like pose as like dead celebrities in this show. But yeah. Okay, let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Like the video, share the video, thumbs it up, etc., etc. And please subscribe to the channel for more cartoon news and shenanigans and discussions like this one. I think this is a fun little discussion. Half an hour. I don't think many people are going to watch this all the way to the end. But I still think The Ghost and Molly McGee is an okay show. But it's not a great show. Not yet. Maybe it could be. It could be. It could just suddenly surprise everyone, but until then, it's just an okay show. There's the okay sign. Okay show. See you later. Bye-bye. Peace out.